All right, this is Joe Foreman joining you from the Diamondplex in Winter Haven, Florida at the 2024 Spring Games. We are in the middle of a good one here as the Dolphins will be on the plus side of an error there. As once again, they have a runner on via the fielder's choice. Error on the high throw to second. And CSI now has two on here in the third inning with nobody out. We apologize for coming on the air a bit late, but we had to scramble to get set up here at the Diamondplex. They got started about 30 minutes early in this game. And because of that, we were on the air a bit late. I'm a one-man crew today. I am scoring the game as well as statting the game, so it may be a bit tough to juggle both of those. We don't have a great setup. I have one laptop in front of me and one behind me. We are seated right now on concrete. There is an ice machine behind home plate with an outlet next to it, and because we didn't have time to run any cabling, I'm seated right next to the ice machine. So we're nice and cool, but unfortunately not a great setup for live streaming. Cassidy Latour, the batter for the Dolphins, flies one out to left field, and she is retired on one pitch for the first out of the inning. Olivia Warner, the runner on second. Victoria Whalen, the runner on first. Our score: Bemidji State 5, Staten Island 4. Both teams scored 3 times in the opening inning. The Dolphins then struck for one in the home second, and the Beavers got 2 back in the third to take a 5-4 lead as Liz Moore fouls that pitch back 0-1. Dolphins coming off 2 wins 1 week ago against Chestnut Hill College. First game, a 1-run game the Dolphins just held on in the final inning. The second game, a big Dolphins win as that ball was down in the dirt. And then we're going to have a throwing error on the throw to third, allowing Whalen to advance from first. So the Dolphins now have 2 in scoring position, still just 1 out. And we'll see how the Beavers look to play this defensively. A couple of the infielders having a word with their starting pitcher. Now, as I mentioned, not the best setup. So I have my rosters on the computer behind me, the stats laptop in front of me with last names only. And now the umpires on the infield will converse here, and perhaps we may see the Dolphins rearranged on the base paths. Stella Dolan, the pitcher for Bemidji State. She got the start in this game as well. No pitching changes yet. Alexandra Frenza, the starter for the Dolphins. She picked up the win in a complete game against Chestnut Hill 1 week ago. Dolphins barely held on in that game at the end as a pair of bunt singles ignited a 9th inning, or I should say a 7th inning rally. We've been covering a lot of baseball this week, but it was a 7-inning game, of course, on the softball diamond. And the Dolphins held on for the 3-2 win against the Griffins in the first game 1 week ago. Moore pops that one up foul. She's behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. The infield for the Beavers, in at the corners. Middle infielders, maybe about halfway in, closer to regular depth. They're willing to concede a run on a ground ball to the middle, as that misses for ball 2. Still very early in this game. We're not even halfway. Playing in the bottom of the third. Once again, the Dolphins are the home team, as Moore looks at that pitch high for ball 3. Three balls and 2 strikes the count on the CSI third baseman. Payoff pitch on its way. And that's hit out to left. Foul ball. Big at bat here for starting pitcher of the Beavers, Stella Dolan, looking to keep her team in front. Moore looking for, at the very least, a productive out. Perhaps a walk. That certainly wouldn't hurt either. Alyssa Acosta on deck. And Moore fouls back another one. Moore mounting a good battle at the plate here. She will see another 3-2 pitch from the Beavers left-hander. Here comes another 3-2. Off-speed pitch popped up at the plate, and the catch is made there for a huge second out. That catch was made in foul territory. That only relevant to our official scorers. And there are now 2 gone in the inning for Alyssa Acosta. And the first pitch to Acosta is off the outside corner for ball 1. Here comes the 1-0. And Acosta takes in the dirt for ball 2. Our live stats pushing perfectly. You can follow along via live stats. Earlier in the game, we did not have the pitch-by-pitch because we were just going one at bat at a time to try and catch up to the action as Acosta looks at ball 3. But moving forward, we have pitch-by-pitch, full box score, and more. That link is available in our preview of this week's action. 3-0 the count on the CSI left fielder. And Acosta takes up and away for ball 4. Well, I doubt there was any intent behind that walk by Dolan, as the walk brings Mariah Carcano to the plate. Carcano's 0 for 1. Coming up in a big spot here with the bases loaded and 2 outs. And she looks at a strike. Carcano officially credited with a sacrifice in her last at-bat, but was certainly bunting for a hit. Batter gets the benefit of the doubt in those spots as she lines one straight into Dolan's glove. Great reactions in the circle by the Beavers starter, and that will do it for the Dolphins in the home 4th inning. 3rd inning. Our score through 3, Staten Island 4, Bemidji State 5. And we are back for the top half of the 4th inning. Dolphins trail 5-4, and a new pitcher is on for CSI as Kelsey Strayer enters the game out of the Dolphin bullpen. That pitch is in for a called strike 2. As Strayer gets ahead in the count quickly. Jacqueline Larson at the plate. And she takes up and away. Larson indirectly was the cause of a great bit of turmoil here at the stats desk before this game. As we tried to put her in the lineup, we were getting an error message that there was no number 8 on the roster. as that's chopped to second. And Warner throws to first in time. One away. And the reason for that was because Larson was marked inactive. Didn't see it. I had to go through the Beavers roster at least 3 times, and then I finally caught it on my third pass. So we were able to fix that and then get started scoring. But that put us about another half inning behind before we finally caught up, as that's hit slowly to short. And the throw goes to first for another quick out. 2 up, 2 down against Kelsey Strayer, as Alexa Christensen grounded out on one pitch, and now Amy Christensen will come to the plate. Amy hitless in 2 at-bats, left-handed hitter, and she looks at a strike. We didn't see Kelsey Strayer pitch at the CSI softball complex last week. She did pitch against Goldie Beacom in the season opening doubleheader for the Dolphins. That outing didn't go well in the final inning, or what the Dolphins hoped would be the final inning anyway. CSI ultimately walked it off in extra innings. She'll be looking for a rebound effort here today against the Beavers. She is now ahead of Christensen, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Whenever we watch Kelsey pitch here on Sportsnet, something that we always note is her off-speed pitch. Hitters who have never seen her are typically caught off guard by how slow that off-speed pitch comes in, as that's tapped to second, and it was misplayed, and the Dolphins lose the play as Warner commits the error. So the Beavers have a 2-out base runner via the E4. And coming to the plate here will be Mariah Stevenson. Stevenson officially 1 for 1 at the plate. She's also drawn a walk. And she crushes one foul and out of play. Well foul out in left field. If you're watching, or I should say more appropriately listening on YouTube, you do see that the link to video for the spring games is over at flowsoftball.com. As that's popped up, first base line, and Anissa Acosta makes the catch for the final out in the top half of the 4th inning. But as I was saying, you can tune into these games with my voice paired with live video over at flowsoftball.com, so be sure to check them out, as we will have at least 6 games for you with audio this week, potentially as many as 7. That will, of course, be weather and internet permitting the games to be played this week at 2 separate facilities. But when we come back, the Dolphins come to bat in the bottom half of the 4th inning, CSI trailing 5-4. Home 4th inning about to get underway from the Diamondplex in Winter Haven. Dolphins trail by 1 run, and they will have 2, 3, and 4 due up in the bottom half of inning number 4. Eileen Balderas will get things started as she looks at ball 1. Balderas 2 for 2. She is off to a red-hot start this season. Had a big game in game 1 against Chestnut Hill on Monday, and she grounds out sharply to short right here for out number 1. That will bring up Olivia Wanser. Wanser officially 0 for 1 at the plate in this game, has drawn a walk. East Coast Conference Rookie of the Week for last week. Award winners will be announced today. Won't spoil those before they go public, but I will say there were some Dolphins nominated across various sports. And we'll see how that plays out, as that's grounded softly to third. Nice snag over there on the infield to stop it by Stevenson. And she throws out Wanzer for out number 2. That will bring up Anissa Acosta. Acosta is 0 for 2. Looking to reach base for the first time here in the 4th inning. If you're a fan of CSI Athletics, as I mentioned various sports and their nominees for conference honors before, then you certainly tuned in last night as our colleague Nick Bavona, all the way back on Staten Island, brought you the call of CSI Dolphins baseball as they walked off in a thrilling Game 2 against Holy Family University. As Costa fouls that one away, but the Dolphins won Game 1 decisively, 11-4, and then no runs were scored in Game 2 until the bottom half of the 7th inning. CSI pitching escaped 3 separate bases-loaded jams. All of those jams saw pitching face the bases loaded with less than 2 out, as Acosta fouls off another. But CSI pitching last night was tremendous, and a lot of the contributors out of that bullpen new to this Dolphins roster in combination with some returning arms that have done a great job for CSI early in the season. And with the Dolphins' biggest Achilles heel last year being protecting the lead late, looks like the Dolphins certainly have something special with this pitching staff. They've been really strong since returning to Staten Island especially, but the starting pitching for much of the season outside of a game or two has been really good as Acosta fouls away another. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on the CSI first baseman. And Acosta hits one well out to left field. That ball's headed toward the wall, and that's out of here. Anissa Acosta ties the score at 5 with a solo home run. Big blast for the Dolphins' first baseman, and she is greeted right in front of us at home plate by her teammates as Acosta has evened up the score. Acosta, I believe, just notched her first home run of the season. We'll have to double check our stats. But she gets the Dolphins even. Still 2 outs in the home 4th inning. And Olivia Warner will be the batter. Had to get that one scored. As Warner fouls that pitch off. Warner officially 1 for 1 at the plate. She's also drawn a walk. She awaits the 0-1, and that's it out to shallow center, falling fast, and the diving catch is made in center field by Houts. What a play as she fully extended in shallow center to rob Warner of her second base hit. But not before the Dolphins tie the score. They even it up at 5 on an Anissa Acosta solo home run. And we are back for the top half of the 5th inning with a tie score. As Anissa Acosta homered to left to get us even at 5. At the plate here, Molly Houts, who made that diving catch in center field. That robbed Olivia Warner of a hit, and if she doesn't make that catch, the Dolphins very easily could have a runner in scoring position. That pitch misses high. Count now 1-2. That's chopped to short. Balderas there. Throw to first in time, and there's one away. That will bring up Aubrey Ackerman. She's 2 for 2 in the game. She bats here. The base is empty and 1 out. And that pitch misses for ball 1. Ackerman looks at a strike there. Count evens up at 1. There's a called strike 2. Every once in a while, the scoreboard plays tricks on us. They got me as we left the bottom half of the third. I looked up and it was already shifted over to the 4th inning. Here they have the count 0-2, but it won't matter as Balderas gets another chance. And Ackerman is out for the second out in the road 5th inning. Two up, 2 down via the 6-3 putout. And coming to the plate here will be Grace Gamila. And Gamila slices that one foul into the spectator area. She's 1 for 2 at the plate with a couple of RBIs. Those came back in the 1st inning. And that's grounded through the left side for a 2-out hit. Grace now 2 for 3 at the plate. And the Beavers have a 2-out base runner. That will bring up Morgan Benedict. The Beavers catcher 1 for 2 in this game. And she looks at a strike. And the 0-1 is looked at for a called strike 2. Kelsey Strayer has been very effective since coming into this game. Very easily could have had 6 up, 6 down. There was the error at second, and that ground ball just snuck through the left side as that is swung on and missed for strike 3. Strayer sets down Benedict swinging, and that will do it for the road 5th inning. Our score remains tied at 5. Dolphins come to bat after a short break. And we're back for the bottom half of the 5th inning. Victoria Whalen leading things off for the Dolphins. And she looks at a strike. Whalen had a 2-run homer against Chestnut Hill 1 week ago. That came in game 2. Unfortunately, we didn't get on the air for it as we were having internet connectivity issues on campus. From time to time, that will happen. We hope that is not an issue at all during the upcoming week, though. We can't make any promises as Whalen fouls away another, and the count runs to 1 ball and 2 strikes. But right now, we're operating off of my phone's mobile hotspot. And our stream, because it's audio only and pushing at the lowest resolution possible, I think we'll be okay. Even if I reach my data limit and the hotspot is slowed down, we should still have enough connection speed to maintain an audio-only stream at our current resolution. So if you're watching on YouTube, our image might be a bit blurry, but outside of that, our voice should be coming over crystal clear. We're at the Diamondplex today, and we move to Auburndale tomorrow as Whalen swings and misses for strike 3. 1 away in the bottom half of the 5th, and Cassidy Latour will be the batter. Latour at the plate in this game, 1 for 2. Had a run batted in earlier. She hits with the bases empty here in the bottom of the 5th. And she takes ball 1. And that's it out to shallow right center and down for a base hit. And the Dolphins have a 1-out base runner on the second hit of the game for Cassidy Latour. That will bring up Elizabeth Moore. Moore came to bat with 2 in scoring position earlier. Did not reach. She's officially 0 for 2. And she goes after that pitch and lines it through the right side. Taking the turn at second and stopping was Latour. And the Dolphins now have 2 on with 1 out here in the 5th. We'll see if perhaps the Beavers get the bullpen working here. We don't have an official pitch count for Stella Dolan, but since we started tracking pitch count, we have her at about 52. We missed the 3-run Dolphin first inning, which was an inning in which she had to work quite a bit. So Acosta will try and bunt at the first pitch and foul it away. Alyssa Acosta, that is. Dolphins left fielder behind 0-1 in the count. I would estimate that Dolan is probably somewhere around 90 pitches, maybe between 90 and 100. We came live in, if I'm not mistaken, the 3rd inning, late in the 3rd inning. As Acosta will lay down a bunt once again. That's scooped up in front of the plate. Throw goes to third just in time. Tracy Garofalo and the Dolphins can't believe it. It was a close play at third, but a great throw from behind the plate by Morgan Benedict in time, and Latour is cut down trying to advance. Great job there by the Beavers on the infield. As if they don't get that out, the Dolphins have the bases loaded with just 1 away. Instead, 2 on and 2 outs as CSI will send a pinch hitter to the plate here. Natalia Noth will bat for Mariah Carcano. So I'll update that on our scorecard. Big chance here for Noth. They get a right-hander up there against the lefty. You have to think that played a role in this decision, as Moore was way off second base following the first pitch, which missed for a ball. They gave her a look, but she's back in safely. And Tracy Garofalo will call time here. We see it quite a bit in softball, but there's a big hole up the middle. That's typical, as the Dolphins are going to send a pinch runner into the game as well. So they'll pinch run for Liz Moore. Now, I think that's Carcano who pinch ran. That is doubtful. Fleming, you have the number? Okay, that is not Carcano. I was going to say, I don't think that would be a normal change, though. I have to think about whether or not you can do that. I don't ponder these things during my downtime, as the count evens up at 1-1. So Kristen Cardillo, the pinch runner for the Dolphins. Count even at 1-1 on Noth, and she grounds out to bring the fifth inning to a close. The Dolphins strand 2. When we come back, the score still knotted up at 5. Sixth inning from Winter Haven. Score still tied at 5 between Bemidji State and Staten Island. At the plate for the Beavers, Avery Amadon. She looks at a called strike. Amadon 0 for 2 at the plate in this game, as Kelsey Strayer delivers high. Dolphins sent up Natalia Knott to pinch hit for Mariah Carcano in the last half inning. Carcano re-enters in center, no surprise there. Pinch runner Cardillo for Moore. Moore re-enters at third base, no surprise there, as that is lined off the glove of Eileen Balderas for a leadoff hit. Balderas had a chance, but she had to extend and range to her left, and she couldn't hold on as she snow-coned that one. And the Beavers have a leadoff base runner. Looks like we might have a pinch runner coming up here. Jacqueline Larson stands in the batter's box, though perhaps the pinch hitter is on deck. All right, so we've been told 25. I'm guessing, got it, 245. Thank you to our CSI Game Day crew staff member, Pat Fleming, for passing that along. It is a pinch runner at first, as that's a foul ball to start the at-bat. Larson was looking to bunt on that first pitch, did so unsuccessfully. Josie Capps is the pinch runner over at first base. That pitch was taken inside for a ball. Count even at 1-1 strike. And that's hit well out to right field. That ball's carrying, and that will land at the base of the fence. Cap stumbles around second, halfway to third base, and that will cost the Beavers a run for the time being, as it will be runners on second and third. Still nobody out. And a chance here for Bemidji State to take the lead back. And Larson hit that ball really well into right center field. That landed right at the base of the wall. Dolphins never had a chance on that one. Pinch runner Caps goes first to third on the double. And it will be Alexa Christensen at the plate here in a big spot. Dolphins bring the infield in. And Christensen looks at a strike. Comes the 0-1. That's grounded through the middle for a base hit. 2 runs will score as the throw comes home, and that will allow the runner to advance to second as Christensen takes advantage of an ill-advised throw there. The Dolphins tried to cut it off. Acosta had to run a long way, couldn't get there on the cutoff. And it's a 2 RBI base hit for Alexa Christensen to give the Beavers a 7-5 lead. And the Dolphins are going to make a pitching change here. That will be all for Kelsey Strayer. The line drive off of Balderas' glove was hit really hard. Had a chance to make the play, couldn't. And after that, we've seen a couple of hard hit balls against Strayer after the Beavers didn't do much against her in her first 2 innings of work. At the plate will be Amy Christensen. She will face Marina Grenier. It's the first time we'll see Grenier pitch here on Sportsnet during this 2024 season. But she did get some work when the Dolphins faced Goldie Beacom earlier in the season. Season opening doubleheader against the Lightning. That doubleheader 1 week ago yesterday. Action set to resume. Runner on second. Still nobody out for Bemidji State. And that pitch is in for a called strike to Amy Christensen. Christensen 0 for 3 at the plate. She got the start for the Beavers at shortstop. Comes the 0-1. That's popped up. Shallow left field. And that is a fair ball as it drops just inside the line between 2 Dolphins. Once again, nothing the Dolphins could do there. But that is a tough break for CSI, and a base hit for Christensen puts runners on the corners. Still nobody out. At the plate here, the Mariah Stevenson. Stevenson showing bunt, and the Dolphins have the runner on first and a run down, as now the runner on third is caught off the bag. Balderas throws to Moore. They still have the rundown engaged here. Good luck to me scoring this one, as now there's a play at the plate, and we'll do our best. We will do our best. A lot of throws there, but we will try. So Christensen ends up going first to third. They caught Christensen in a rundown over at third base. Alexa was in the rundown at third. Amy initiated the rundown over at first. So I believe it was 2-6. Then they threw it back to Moore at third. So 5. Back home. 2. As we have a base hit up the middle. And that will bring home the runner from third. It's now a 3-run game, but my priority while I'm down here in Florida is to score these games correctly. So we're going to try. I think after the ball went back home from Moore, it went back to third, where I would presume Balderas was covering. And then they got the out at home. We'll go with that. And then an RBI single up the middle. All right. Should be all caught up here. Molly Hout's the batter. She hits one to short. Could be 2. And Hout's too quick as the throw hits off of Acosta's glove. And we'll see how I decide to score that one. I think the throw is a bit low. Could have been scooped. They had to rush it. Though you can't assume a double play. You have to give an error allowing the runner to advance, so. The throw bounced. I think that's got to be an E4. As that's through into right field for a base hit. That may bring home another run, but they will hold the runner Houts at third. So they'll have to score that last play. Dolphins now trail 8-5. The run that scored on that last hit, I should say, the run that failed to score on that last hit, as a fly ball ends the inning, possibly could have ended up unearned as they held the runner at third. I actually incorrectly scored it in our live stats. I'll make that change, and we'll be right back. The Dolphins now trail by 3. Our score 8-5. And we're back for the home 6th inning. Dolphins still trail by 3. I misspoke. Instead, a run came home on that base hit through the right side. The runner was held at third. Had that run come home, there's a chance it could have been unearned, as that runner should have been on first. That was Houts, but at that point, a moot one. As the run does not score, the Dolphins trail by 3. Eileen Balderas leading things off for CSI here in the home 6th inning. She fouls off that last pitch. They have 0-1 up on the scoreboard. I think it might be 0-2. She fouled off 2 pitches. So Balderas in a 2-strike hole. Balderas at the plate in this game, 2 for 3. Picked up another RBI earlier. And she fouls off another. Stella Dolan still in the game for Bemidji State. She's really settled down since the early going. Gave up 3 in the first, just 2 since. Left-hander still going strong. And she misses high there. That pitch misses high. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Balderas. That's fouled off. Balderas continues to battle. He's been a bit late on a couple of fastballs. Comes another 2-2 pitch. And there's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Balderas goes down swinging. There's 1 away in the inning as Olivia Wanzer comes to the plate. Wanzer is 0 for 2 with a walk. And make it 1 for 3 with a base hit. Wanzer first pitch swinging. Lines went into shallow center. And the Dolphins have a 1-out base runner. That will bring up Anissa Acosta. And obviously not being familiar with how the Beavers manage their pitching staff, I was curious to see if they would let Dolan face Acosta again. And they will. I don't see any action in the Bemidji State bullpen, so being told perhaps there is some stirring. The bullpen's all the way down the right field line. There is action. There is action in the Beavers bullpen. Back on Staten Island, the bullpens are a part of the dugout. They're an extension of the dugout. Here at the Diamondplex, the bullpens are all the way down the line in the corner. Foul territory, obviously, behind the wall. Count even at 1 ball and 1 strike on Anissa Acosta. And she takes ball 2. Acosta 1 for 3. The lone hit a big one. A game-tying solo home run. That one sliced in foul territory. Falling fast, foul ball. Just foul. Well, Tracy was urging Olivia Wanzer to run. Despite the foul call, she gets confirmation from the home plate umpire. No need to get extra steps in on a day like this. It's getting hot outside. 2-2 on its way, and that's popped up on the infield. Tailing toward foul territory, but the catch is made in fair territory on the move by Aubrey Ackerman. 2 gone in the home 6th inning, and Olivia Warner will be the batter. And Warner takes ball 1. Warner is 1 for 2. Looking to keep this inning going and bring the tying run to the plate as she looks at a strike. If Warner can keep the inning alive, Victoria Whalen would be next. That pitch is in for a strike. That sliced foul. Count 1-2 on the Dolphins' second baseman. And that swung on and missed for strike 3. Dolphins strand 1 in the home 6th inning. And they will need at least 3 when they come to bat in the 7th. Our score through 6. Bemidji State 8, Staten Island 5. Marquise. Bemidji State comes to bat here in the 7th, looking for some insurance against Marina Grenier. First pitch from Grenier's fouled back by Morgan Benedict. Benedict 1 for 3 in this game. Looking to get things started here in the road 7th, and that's popped up foul territory. And that's a nice play by Warner, stumbling into foul territory. She extends to make the running catch. One gone in the inning. That pitch misses for ball 1. At the plate here, Avery Amadon. She's 1 for 3. And that's fouled away. So as I spoke about when the broadcast got started, we got on the air a bit later than anticipated. The game started 30 minutes early. So we had to get the lineups after the game had already begun and input the first inning, maybe inning and a half worth of plays. As that skied out to left where Acosta is waiting to make the catch. 2 gone. But because of that, we did not get on air with voice until the 3rd inning. We thought about potentially just scrapping the audio stream, but we had too good of a game to do that. Set up less than ideal, but we have plenty of time ahead of our second game, about 3 hours. So what we'll do is we'll find a nice location, pick our spot. The crew and I will head out, grab lunch, and then come back in time for the start of our second game. At the plate is Jacqueline Larson. She's ahead 2-0. Expect audio to begin for our second game of the day between CSI and California University of Pennsylvania to begin at about 1:35, 1:40. We're not going to go live too early, but if we have our lineup cards complete, we'll come on right after. As that's bounced over to Warner at second, she throws to first in time as Larson is retired to bring the top half of the 7th inning to a close. Last chance at the plate for the Dolphins. They trail by 3. And we are back for the home 7th inning from the Diamondplex in Winter Haven. Our score 8-5 in favor of Bemidji State. Dolphins down to their final 3 outs. Send Victoria Whalen to the plate. She looks at a pitch high for ball 1. Whalen in this game 0 for 3. That misses low. Two 2-0 pitch coming. And that finds the zone for a called strike 1. Due up for the Dolphins, Whalen, Latour, and Moore, as they look to work their way back in their first matchup of the 2024 spring games. This year, the Dolphins play 10 games. Last year, they played 8. They had an off day midweek last year. I was joined on the call for those games by Andrew Rotundo, as that's fouled back. Andrew now has a new job with the United States Postal Service. He is still on probation, would have loved to be here, but unfortunately could not request time off until the beginning of April. So Andrew's back home on Staten Island, likely working today, as Whalen fouls that one back. The rest of our Sportsnet crew still back at home and will still be covering baseball on Saturday. That game once again being played at Staten Island University Hospital Community Park, where the Dolphins take on Caldwell University. Count on Whalen still 2-2, and she bounces one to short. Throw across the diamond in time, and there's one gone in the home 7. That will bring up Cassidy Latour. Latour 2 for 3 at the plate, has driven in a run. And here in the 7th, the Dolphins are just looking for base runners. If they do get a couple, the top of the order will get another opportunity. Latour, the 7th place hitter. So the Dolphins, if they get 2 on, would get back to the top of the lineup, and that has to be what they're hoping for in this spot. And that's dribbled to third, where it's misplayed on the hop, and that's going to be an E5. As the Dolphins have a 1-out base runner on the error over at third base by Stevenson. Tracy Garofalo has it just right from the Dolphins dugout, or I should say the third base coaching box. Just need base runners, she says. The Dolphins have one, and Elizabeth Moore looks at a strike. Moore is 1 for 3 at the plate. Looking for a big second base hit here. A walk would do the trick as well. And Moore lines one the other way into right center for a base hit. And the Dolphins will bring the tying run to the plate as Elizabeth Moore comes through with a base hit. And Alyssa Acosta will be the batter. She represents the tying run. Acosta is certainly a threat to bunt for a hit or to slap one down that left field line. If she gets on, or only 1 out is recorded, Mariah Carcano will be next. And double plays much tougher to come by in the game of softball. You know the Dolphins certainly looking to avoid that. They'd love to keep the line moving with a base hit. Currently, the Beavers' bullpen is dormant. No action there. As of now, this inning belongs to Stella Dolan, and she misses high to Acosta for ball 1. See if Acosta waits to take a strike here. And she takes way upstairs for ball 2. So ahead of this at bat, the Beavers infield gathered around the circle, had a word with their starting pitcher, perhaps talking defense as well. The corners are about halfway in, middle infielders back, as Acosta swings 2-0 and slices that one foul. I thought perhaps Alyssa might take a strike in this at bat, especially ahead 2-0. Instead, she fouls off the 2-0 pitch, and the count runs to 2-1. Acosta at the plate, 0 for 1. She's drawn 2 walks. Has a good eye up at the plate. And she looks at ball 3. Pressure mounting now on Stella Dolan, as a walk here would put the tying run on base and bring the winning run to the plate. Here comes the 3-1. That's popped up on the infield, and the infield fly rule will be invoked, as there are now 2 away. Mariah Carcano at the plate here for the Dolphins. Last chance for CSI. Stevenson way in at third as Carcano swings and misses for strike 1. Carcano was way late on that first pitch. We'll look to shorten up here. Beavers still respecting the bunt as Carcano takes up and away. The Dolphins would love to get Eileen Balderas a chance. She stands in the on-deck circle. It's off to a red-hot start this season. Carcano needs to get on to make that happen. And Carcano takes way out of the zone for ball 2. Two and one the count on the CSI center fielder. Dolan's pitch on its way. That's popped up, foul territory, out of play. And the Dolphins are now down to their final strike. Two and two the count on Carcano. She represents the tying run at the plate. Our score 8-5. Dolan's pitch on its way, and that is swung on and missed for strike 3 as the Beavers hold on in the 7th inning for a 3-run victory over the College of Staten Island. Dolphins strand 2 in the home half of the 7th, and after coming from behind down 3-0 in the first inning, CSI ultimately falls short as they drop their first game in Florida by a final score of 8-5. Our final lines in this game for the Beavers: 8 runs on 13 hits, 4 errors. And for the Dolphins, 5 runs on 9 hits, 2 errors. I'll have to input the winning pitcher. We know that's Stella Dolan. She went the distance. I have to go back to my box score to get the losing pitcher. That might have been Kelsey Strayer, charged with that 1 run in the 4th inning. I'm not sure if she came on for inning 4 or 5. I believe she came on for 4. So we will check that, but I believe, oh no, it isn't Strayer. The Dolphins were trailing 5-4 after 3. The losing pitcher will be Alexandra Frenza. So I'm doing that in real time as we speak, allocating the wins and losses. But for the Dolphins, it's a 3-run defeat in their first game here in Winter Haven. 1 more to come this afternoon. Start time approximately 3 hours from now at 1:45 p.m. We'll move over to the Diamondplex Field C for that game. That's about 50 feet to our right. But until then, this has been Joe Foreman on the call, providing you audio only on play-by-play, along with live stats for our game this morning. Be sure to tune in at approximately 1:35 or 1:40 this afternoon for Game 2 at the Spring Games 2024. Dolphins take on California University of Pennsylvania. We'll see you then.